Again, Happy New Year, first painting of the year. And we're just going to pick up right where we left off. It's been about a week or so since I've been able to do any of the painting. Been out of town on vacation. So that's where we're going to pick right back up. And make sure that everything's good. All right. Haven't filmed anything on my phone in about a week. So you make sure that everything is where it needs to be. Okay. I had the brightness level all the way up there so I could see it. Okay, so where we left off last time was these two deep nights. We have the rear rank, and we put the basing material on there, and it's dried clear. It's usually 6 to 8 hours is all it takes. Now it's dried about a week. So we should be good to go. Actually, more than a week. I think we did it, what, like Christmas Eve? Something like that. Okay, so let's, the next step, what we're going to do is we're going to base all this in brown. We're going to finish it all the way up. Obviously, we're not going to do the grass just yet. But we are going to go ahead and do that part. And then when we're done with that, we'll glue the ones on the front and do the basing on the front as the secondary step. All right. All right, let's get our chocolate brown out. And that's leather brown. I know I've got a damn near brand new one of these. And here it is, chocolate brown. And I don't know if we need to do the wet palette on this. We'll see if we got space on it to put it down. All right, we got some space on it. This thing is still moist. It's unbelievable. Kind of smells like a swamp a little bit, but you know, it's been enclosed here for about a week, so no big deal. We're gonna, before we do anything else, we're just gonna go ahead and put it down here and knock that out. All right, we want to use a brush that is not super detailed, but somewhere we can get in there between the legs and so forth. So let's take a look over here and one of these brushes to choose from here. This is a candidate. Maybe this one. All right. So let's mix this stuff up good. And we'll probably use this for the most part because that'll keep me from painting my fingers all on there and then getting paint on my fingers and then I transferring it somewhere else. I don't want it, so. All right, and we're gonna need some water. I'd be surprised if there's any of it left here. There's some. Okay. And let's get in here and do the detail stuff. May not need that just yet. This is always the step that takes the longest, is putting the initial color on here because you don't want to miss a spot or have an air bubble pop, something like that. So see if I can do that. There we go. That's better. So over the stuff we're working on, but then not in a place where I'm banging my head across it. Just get all that in there. Doesn't matter if I overhang a little bit of it because we're going to glue the other ones down in there and then we'll goop around them. So. And let's make sure this is up here and good. Just off for a swim. Okay. Happy New Year, Greg. This is the first hobby-related thing I've done all year. So I'm sure there'll be more. All right. Just got back in town today. Been out about a week. This will be the first day in about a week I have not had a drink. So this is the dry season coming up. I was on vacation in Tennessee. I think the whole time was in Tennessee. Yeah. Happy New Year, Harvey. How you doing? Out in the UK. I assume you guys are still on shutdown. I don't know. I've disconnected from the whole world for about a week. So I know we had a good New Year's. Had something happen that I'd never had happen to me before. And that was we went to a venue. It was an open outside concert, but we were kind of in these little gates where you were kind of kept to yourself. So we're on top of each other. It was a really good. It was a really good experience. It was a 1980s cover band. They did a bunch of different things, and they were dressed up like different characters from the 1980s. So it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek type thing. I mean, but it was there were some good. It was a good act, and it was at a brewery in Tennessee. And on my way back, we usually do not go anywhere on New Year's Eve. And on my way back, I was totally sober, but I was concerned that there might be people on the interstate that were not in that condition. And sure enough, somebody passed us and he was fishtailing like crazy. So we're like, well, stay away from him. And all of a sudden, there was an accident that happened right in front of us. And the cops hadn't even appeared there or anything. So, I was I'm glad I was driving. I would have panicked if I wasn't that way, but I guess some people just thought they could get back under their own steam. So I've never seen that before. Never seen an accident on New Year's Eve. But then again, I'm not usually out when people are out there drinking. So I'm glad I was driving. I would have freaked out. So. But it was nice because it was a venue that you could still be away from people, and the 15-year-old could participate. It wasn't something that sometimes it's hard to find things that the whole family can participate. It's usually 21 and over, so we end up doing something a little bit more low key, but we were able to do something pretty fun actually. Well, there's a couple of cars that didn't spend a good time on New Year's Eve. Didn't start off their 2021 very good. So, okay, this is the base color in the. Oh, let's go ahead and knock this out as well. In the chocolate brown, Vallejo chocolate brown. Tony's back. I've been here all along. Felt like I've been gone for a month. I'm gonna do something different today. I'm not gonna have a drink. I think I've had a cocktail or a beer every single day for like 11 days or something like that. May have been longer. So won't do that today. Unfortunately, tomorrow is the first day back to work, and unfortunately, it's also the first day back to gaming. So we may film something. Not really sure what it'll be at this point, but you guys will find out when it happens. More than likely, it will be live. I don't think I want to take on editing anything at this point, so we'll probably just do it live. So. Same bat time, same bat channel. Somewhere around 6:30, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. What's that? Greenwich, 11 p.m., something like that? 11 p.m., noon. I forget if you guys run. That whole daylight savings thing screws everything up. I'm just glad I'm back down to somewhere where it gets dark at 5:30 in the afternoon and not 4:30 in the afternoon. That was quite annoying. That was quite annoying. It's bad enough that when I got home here about 1:30, it felt like it was 5 o'clock in the afternoon. So it's actually affected me more this year than any other one. It's just kind of, you just get tired earlier than you should. This is always the step that takes the longest of all of the basing. It just put the basic color down on everything. It doesn't seem like it'd be much to ask, but it always takes a little longer than I'd like. A particular joy of visiting the west coast of Ireland is the summer sunsets over the Atlantic at 11 p.m. or so. Yeah. Well, if the sunset is 11 p.m., how the hell are you supposed to drink all through the night? That could only be a couple hours then, right? West coast of Ireland. I have a feeling that's going to have to wait for us. We're going to do for our European trip this year. I have a feeling that I don't know when that's going to be. It may never be ever, but that's all right. I think you guys were telling me just before Christmas you're getting ready to go in another shutdown, and then the next thing I know is they're going to put even tougher restrictions. So, yep. We'll just keep YouTubing it. We'll do our European tour through YouTube. Travel during the holiday season seemed to be pretty busy. Seemed like there was a wait just about everything we needed to do. We wanted to do some attractions, and we found out at the last minute that we needed to pre-plan everything because everything's limited by capacity. So we kind of had to make our changes, but we got to see everything we wanted to see. Just didn't really like the idea that we had to pre-plan everything, but it is what it is. Got to see everything. Using a brush is a little smaller than what I want to. Yes, we're locked down again. No gaming face to face for another month or so. So you can't even have a friend come over to your house? What if you do? Does the Gestapo show up and lock you both up, or is it just kind of an unwritten rule? I didn't get together for like 5 months when this first hit. What was it? 24 weeks ago, 20 weeks ago, March, April, and then I'm like, screw this. We're still doing our show. We're still doing our gaming thing. So still got to go to work. So if I can go to work and deal with people that I don't want to deal with, I can certainly deal with the people that I do want to deal with. So I'd love to work from home, wearing pajamas or whatever the hell else I would work to work, at least for a week. Like, let me do it. Hey, let me do it one day, you know, one day, please. I'd probably end up eating the whole house though. Leave me in a house with a bunch of food. Yeah, I'll eat the whole house in one day. That's my addiction. Everybody's got addiction. Mine happens to be eating. Okay. Okay, we're about to the point where I can just say uncle. And be done with that. Let's switch to the other one. And let's go to the lighter shade. Boom, boom. Oh, we don't need those. Those are super zoomed in glasses. We planned ahead. We don't have our contacts in right now. Let's see. U.S. Field Drab. That's shade number 2, middle shade. Well, this thing's already worked a little bit, so I'll go ahead and dry brush on here, and I won't freak out. You know what? Nix that. We'll just dry brush on this little guy right here. This is the one we just finished? This is the one we just finished. All right. I'll let that other one dry a little bit. That's the only thing about dry brushing is when you put that first layer down, it's kind of wet. You want it to dry out a little bit. And I'm used to going from one color right into another one. Pretty much the only thing I wait on is this basing material, the Liquitex. When I put it on, I've got to wait for it to dry on there. There's just no other way around that. I've got to let that dry, or it's just not going to work. someone suggested that I mix the color already in it, but the problem is this stuff dries semi-gloss, and I don't seal the bases. I don't need I don't need to alter my basing method into one that's going to take me even longer to get things done. That's exactly what would happen. So we just got to wait for this stuff to dry now. How's this one doing? That one's kind of lame. We'll go ahead and use that one for a dry brusher. All right, let's lose this. Let me take my glasses off so I can see them. So I can see what I'm doing. I changed my mind. I don't have a whole lot of control there on that. Paper towel for that. And let's just get in there and get some of this middle color. U.S. Field Drab. Why did I pick these colors? Well, I think I stole them from Flames of War. Yeah, even Flames of War has some good ideas. I just don't play the game, but you know they got some. They got some. It's nice because they've got some ground schemes and different ground coverings that they've already showed you what colors they used. Whether it's three or I believe all of them are three layers. The bottom layer, the middle one, and the top, and you can kind of see how they all stack up next to each other, so that you don't go through the process of doing all three and then realize that you don't like the finished product. So it's helpful. It's helpful. Oh, here we go. It's supposed to be no. Okay, hold on a second here. It's supposed to be no mixing with different households. A few high-profile house parties were smacked with $1,000 fines. Well, there's a big difference between having a house party and having like one friend come over. You know, yeah, I'm all for not having a house party. Rick in Middle America, snowed in, I think. Or you got some snow out there. I hope you had a wonderful Christmas and a New Year. We did. We had a great time. We traveled. We went north to go south. We were in Chattanooga and Nashville, or as I like to call it. I'm surprised nobody's come up with this before, but I now call it the Noog. It is Chattanooga. So we were there for 3 days and Nashville for 4 days. So we spent about a week over there and got to see the real South, not Florida, but had a good time. Had a good time. But that's over with. And realize that every single cop is in Georgia. I don't. We spent 4 days in Tennessee. I didn't see a single Tennessee cop pulling someone over. In Georgia, just on the way back today, saw at least 16, maybe more than that. Saw none in Florida, which is unusual. Florida's got a pretty decent presence, but none in Tennessee. They must have been making moonshine. They were having moonshine donuts. But yeah, I had a good time. Avoided a New Year's Eve accident that I was not part of, but I saw it up here right before me. So some people did not have a designated driver, and I guess they'll be buying themselves a couple new cars then because of that. But 10,000 sterling, about $20,000. About depends on what the exchange rate is. Hopefully, we're not back to 2 to 1. That's kind of nonsense. I went back in time to find out when we were 1 to 1, and we were never 1 to 1. So, but that's for a house party. So I wonder how much they charge them per person. My 2021 just instantly improved upon seeing Mr. DVA himself was live. Well, I just got back in. Been outside of Florida since the 26th, 27th. We left the 27th. So yep, our first vacation of the year, actually. So that's all right. It's going to be the same crap this coming year, so we know what to expect. I was saving all my days to use them in December, and it didn't exactly work out. But now we know what to expect for next year, so we'll be taking them throughout the year. Yeah, I had all my convention stuff basically canceled, and I didn't take the time off. I just said, well, I'll get it later. I'll get it later. I'll get it later. And then, it was time to pay the piper in December. I'm like, well, okay, I'll go ahead and take the time off now. And I couldn't. December was just too busy. I think it's the busiest year. This is the busiest month we've ever had in 26 years of working there. So your industry might be slow, but I'm telling you, construction is busy as shit. So we're building stuff that they're not falling for it like in 2009 where everything shut down for no reason. They're like full speed ahead. Screw it, we're building it. So, which is good, but man, I needed a break. That busy. I'm sure the lemmings crashed the Titanic into an iceberg while I was gone. I guarantee that's what happened. Happens every time. But hey, at least I know what to expect. Should have some gaming tomorrow night. Live, more than likely. I don't think I'm going to commit to doing any editing just yet. Supposed to have something a little different. I'm not going to spoil the fun, tell you what that is, but especially because then, oh, well, we're going to do such and such. And then the time happens and, oh, we have twice as many people I thought were going to show up. So we can't do that anymore, It's just better if you don't make any plans, just, we'll be there. So good stuff. The show will go on in 2021. So lockdown or no lockdown, we're still going to have painting stuff, and you guys call it entertainment. I call it therapy. Hey, today marks the first day all year I haven't had a drink. Not that I'm trying to quit drinking, but vacation, just having one drink. I hardly drink at all, but I behave better when I drink, anyways. You wouldn't know that because you don't get to work with me. We're almost done with these guys. These Hungarians are getting restless. One more step on here. Was this the second or the first one? It was the second one, but man, it didn't pop. It didn't pop very much. Let's compare. See if I can find a spot here that is not. Let's just roll with this, and then we know if we don't have it. If we got to go back and do some of it, we can go back and do that. Where is Iraqi sand? Even though these guys are nowhere near Iraq, that's what the color was called. You can't even tell that it's Iraqi sand, but this is it. Yep, I've used it so damn much that numbers covered over, and I rewrote it on it, and that's gone too. What kind of stuff's coming out of my fingers? I erase everything. Let's see. All right, let's do this here. All right, let's get some of this right here, and now this one you can go right over. It's the first one where you have to lay it on thick, but sometimes it's too wet when you get down to dry brush, so you need to, it works if you're doing more than one stand, because by the time you base the first one and it dries, then you can, you could do the other ones and they still, they'll be dry by the time you get theirs. I don't like waiting in between coats because that's a waste of time. It's bad enough we got to wait for this stuff to dry, but that's just one of those things. Multi-step process with these guys because of the figure density on here. And then what we're going to do is we're going to glue the other figures on here, and we'll put the goop on there, and then we'll do the same process there. But we won't have to try to get in between the legs of these horses while we have these other horses up here. So it's going to make it a lot easier. See if we can get an overhead view here. The shadows are covering the stuff, which that can be helpful, but I don't want to miss any spots if I can avoid it. Okay, that's the 3 levels right there. And let's go back to that, and there. Yeah, we thought we possibly were going to get some snow on our travels, but we didn't. That's probably a good thing. I don't want to drive on some of those roads all icy and stuff. It wasn't even that cold. I think it got into the 20s maybe one day, but it was cold and wet, which is what I like. It's that cold and dry that I can't handle. That's, yeah, drink a bunch of water, you get dehydrated and a massive headache, and I could deal with cold and wet. And was perfect because it warmed up while I was gone. You can have that. We get warmed up enough as it is here. Now, I think I separated the other 3 guys. I'd already picked out what stand they were going to go on. And I thought I was pretty diligent about it, but I could be wrong. Who's on what side? What stand of the other 3? Let's see what we got here. Let's move this off to the side. Won't be using this the rest of the evening. Okay. Right. So there should be 3 sets of 3. Yep. Here's 3. Boom. 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 These 3 guys. And then these 3 guys. But I don't remember who was on what stand, but I'll be able to figure that out here in a moment. Because this guy has a little cross symbol from Hungary, and I would not have put that together on the same guy with a cross symbol there. So these guys go with this one. These 3 go with this stand, and these 3 go with this stand. And just double check. This guy is a file leader here. We got a guy with a little lion on the back. I would not have put him on the same side that has a lion heads. That would be just stupid. I wouldn't have done that kind of stuff. Or as I like to say, I like to make different mistakes. Yep. These go like that. Okay. Move them over here. And then these 3. This has a little shield on the back, so I would not have put them on the same side that this other guy had a shield. So we'd put him over here. And then this guy goes over here on this side. And the file leader goes here in the middle. Something like that. Something like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and get the goop and the epoxy. And epoxy these guys in place. And of course, the epoxy is DevCon Home 5-minute epoxy. You're the sponsors of this show. I'm kidding. I don't need sponsors. I don't believe in sponsors. I use products I like, and if they start making them crappy, I'll let you know. These guys don't make a good product anymore. Uncorruptible. All right. Let's see. Do we have another little piece of cardboard so I don't have to keep using that same one? Because it's hard to mix on here and find out where your mix thing is when there's still a little coating on here. Here we go. Let's cut this guy in two. Let's cut this guy in two. What do I do with my X-Acto knife? Here we go. The only person that cuts on something else not to cut their cutting mat. You guys know anybody anal retentive like that? Let me know. I didn't even buy this thing. I didn't even buy this blue thing, but I take care of it because I don't want to have to buy one. I don't want to have to look at one that's all ganked up, messed up looking. Oh, this stuff's stinky. Stinky, stinky. Stinky winky. All right. Come on. This works a lot better than the syringe method, where you've got the two pieces of epoxy, you have to squeeze them out, and hopefully they'll both come out the same amount. It never does. One always comes out farther than the other. So the next time you squeeze it out, you have to compensate for that. You're squeezing it at an angle with more pressure on one side. And then it just keeps going down. It just keeps happening over and over and over again. So, all right. Let's see, we got any. No newcomers. You guys just along for the ride. Awesome. Okay. Okay, let's see. Let's go ahead and put this guy down first. People being quiet is always better than people bitching about stuff, so. Never a problem being quiet. Okay. Putting him right here in the middle. Hello. And let's adjust this a little bit. These guys have some really long toes. Oh, that's not necessarily unrealistic. Some of this armor, this gothic armor some of these knights had some really long toes, almost like they're trying to make up for something. Really, really long. Like, hopefully their toes didn't go all the way to the end of them, because that'd be, you know, like a freak of nature type of thing. You know, what kind of troll are you? Let's squeeze this guy over here. Shimmy him over here. Put this guy in the middle. Okay. Should be good. Okay. See, now when you do the goop, you only have to do some of it on there. You're not trying to get all the stuff in between the guys on the back. Make life a little easier. No point torturing yourself over that. Okay. Let's go ahead and put the center guy here. And we've already painted it brown, so we don't have to go in there and do the super detailed painting around the horse. Hopefully that'll save us some frustration. And then we'll put this guy over here on this side. All right, now let's see if we can tighten these guys up for just so it looks a little cooler. Okay. Yeah, unlike those other knights, these museum knights stand on there really well. They got a really nice base, and they're not really off balance, the figures. Some of those Essex guys really were, they were working on some stands that were really, really small and were very precarious the way they were molded on them, so. Okay, doesn't matter if this guy's over a little bit of an angle. Let's see if we can shimmy this guy over. Let's grab this. See if we can bring this guy over a little bit. Come over here. Okay. Okay. And here's the two deep night wedges. I could have used the same ones from a medieval German army, but what's the point in doing that? You might put some banners on these guys. Hard to say at this point. I don't want to bite off too big a bite. So, okay. What else? Drink. Coke Zero, that is. All right. Now, the next stage, once these guys are set, we're going to do some of this goop. And should be this stuff right here. Nope, that's the natural sand one. Where's the other one then? We'll leave it out on the table. Oh, yeah, Liquitex resin sand is what I use for all my basing. At least that's what I'm using these days. I've been using it for, I don't know, 10 years or so. Maybe a little longer. Something like that. Been happy with it. So even though this 5-minute epoxy, it takes, I don't know, maybe 15 minutes for it to dry. These guys are got almost crossed lances there. Make sure how we're looking for fit on side to side. Should be good. Okay. Yeah, these are heavy stands. Heavy stands. You don't want to drop one of these on the ground because they'll all come apart. That's the one advantage that plastic figures have, is they're not heavy enough to damage themselves. The disadvantage they have is I don't like them. I don't like the paint plastic stands. I like heft. So just make sure you don't drop your figures on the ground. There we go. Let's move that a little bit so the lances aren't touching. So it gives you a little time to do some tinkering on here if you need to. Okay, all right, so we have a few minutes for that to dry. Where do we leave off? I think we started painting some of these guys. This is the command stand here with Matthias Hunyadi. Just a regular 3-stand of knights. Yeah, let's do a little work with that while these guys completely set, and then we'll come back and do the goop on them. All right, let's get the old wet palette, see if there's any metal still left. There probably isn't. It's probably done dried up by now. See what we're dealing with here. All right, yeah, it's over here in this corner. Ah, it might actually be some alive. It's alive. It is actually. Let's see. Yep. It's been over a week and it's still alive. Look at that. Okay. Because we're just going to dry brush this bit on here. I don't do a whole lot of dry brushing. It's just on the basing. And if you're doing something like chainmail or something like that, and this is a chainmail horse, it's a little rip torn on there. I think this is a minifigs horse from some 100 Years War set that the banner guy is going to be carrying. And the banner guy is actually a figure by, let's get this a little closer, there we go, Peter Pig. It's a Peter Pig figure on a minifigs horse. That's how I roll. I'm mix and match. No two armies are the same. Got some torn chainmail there on top. This guy just has a little bit of protection to make him feel good. This guy's got a very important job. Don't drop the flag. Long range motivation. Okay, what else we got here? I know we did this one guy. Or we started to. We got sidetracked. I'm not sure what happened that night. Maybe got too tired or something. Hard to say. Just dry brush this over the top. Now, unlike most of the guys that are wearing these salets, I believe the chin piece on this knight is actually a metal plate. So we'll have to paint the bottom of his chin like it's made of metal, like he's got a metal chin, not just something over the top of his head like most salets are. I believe this one is a two-piece one, clamshell type. All right. There's a big man here. Big man's got no armor on him. Screw that noise. He wants to be seen. Okay. A little bit there. I think that's it. Okay. How's epoxy going? Yeah, we're good. All right. Move these guys back. Intermission's over. It's goop time. All right. Let's get this stuff right here. Put this back. I'd love to not jump around, but I'm actually better jumping around and continually working on something than to just go, let me go grab a such and such, and they get sidetracked into something else. So, better off doing it this way. Let's see. And the other good thing about this is if you're lazy like I am and you forget to clean off your stainless steel things, it just comes right off anyways. So it's good material. I was gonna say it has no smell, but it does. Sometimes you break it open and it smells like somebody at the factory was smoking like 12 packs a day or something like that. It smells like cigarettes sometimes. Nah, not yet. The older one does. Not sure why. All right, let's get some of this stuff here towards the top. And we'll put some here, so it's easier to work with. Put some here. We can put it back if we don't need it. It just keeps this whole thing from drying out. Okay. All right, let's see what we're dealing with here. The problem is this thing doesn't weigh anything, so just trying to pick some of this stuff off makes it turn. Good thing these armies are small, because they take me a long time to get done with them. But that's all right. I do them so I don't have to do them again. Like I built those Hungarians, I'm going to do them. I'm not going to do them anymore. I've had enough of those guys. And you could do it the other way. You could like base these three guys first, and then come in and do the three on the back. But I just decided to. I believe that's what I did on the first set. I don't remember it being the wrong choice. So turrets are a little tricky too. Got to do them in. You don't have to do them in sets, but I did do them in sets. I believe I put the horses down first, and then I went in and did the rest of the stuff, or something like that. It was a little tricky. It was a multiple step type thing. So good to be back in the land of Coke Zero. Tennessee's apparently really big. Pepsi's really big up there, which is fine. I probably told you this already. I used to be a Diet Pepsi drinker, and 10 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. Whenever they came out with Coke Zero, the sweetener they used at Coke Zero, which one is it? Phenylalanine, whatever, something like that. Anyways, the sweetener that they put in Coke Zero is the one that used to be in Diet Pepsi. Diet Pepsi changed theirs to something I didn't like, so they they changed horses in mid race and they lost me. So, and I would think that Coke would have had a bigger presence in Tennessee since it's the main plant there's in. They're based out of Atlanta, but I guess Georgia and Tennessee don't play nice. But anyhow, there was Pepsi everywhere up there, so I'm glad to be back in a place where you can get Coke Zero. So I don't drink a whole lot of soda, but when I do, that's what it is. So I don't I don't need the regular soda. Still going to be a little tricky getting in here, but not too bad. We'll put some of this stuff right here and then move it into place with something smaller, something a little bit more nimble. Let's get a bigger part of it, push it into place back there. The paintbrush really isn't the issue. I can pretty much put the paintbrush anywhere I need it to go. It's this other stuff that's a little trickier than that. Oh. Okay. Let's see if we can find ourselves a brush that we don't love no more. I believe this is our candidate right here. And we should be able to put back in here. Maybe I did the front ones first. I ain't scared. Hell, I've rebased guys and even reused the same stand and rebasing them and didn't damage any of the figures. So if I got to redo this again, I ain't too worried about it. All right, now let's grab these guys from here. That's going to be the kicker. Let's see what it is. I see what I need to do. All right, let's get us an old brush that bends. This one. All right. There we go. Patience is a virtue, and some people are not virtuous. I may not be able to pull this off. We will see. Still going to be easier than anything I'm going to do tomorrow, so got to look at it that way. There we go. Put it in there and push it in there. It's been 10 years since I built the other guys, so I honestly don't remember what I did. I remember that it wasn't a pain in the butt. This hasn't gotten to be a pain in the butt yet. You just got to find what angle to get in at. Yeah, I think we're good. I think we're good now. I think we're good now. Yeah, I couldn't imagine having to seal this stuff as well. So once I put this stuff down, paint it, it's good to go. It's not one of those, well, I got to seal it in there as well, and that sort of thing. That'd be a pain. I had somebody, I forget who it was, that said that they liked that my videos were unscripted. They're definitely unscripted. If I come across crap I can't deal with, you'll see me have to deal with it. So this is a reality show as it should be, not some scripted thing. Never understood why people watch reality shows. If it's if you're gonna watch something like Survivor or whatever, you should have hidden cameras. Everybody's on the island. Only one person lives. Nobody can stop any kind of people getting impaled by bamboo sticks or anything like that. One guy lives. And then, unscripted. And there'd be no voting. Okay. Let's do the same strategy we had. Or would it be a tactic? The same tactic. Let's put this in here. Let's push this goop there in the area where it needs to go. There we go. And a little more. There we go. Persistence is the key to victory. Stay on it. If you give up, you're not going to get where you need to go. Start making motivational posters. But they'll be real ones, not those hokey things they always want you to believe in, not those fake mantras from the office lunchroom. Believer in false mantras. Now, one thing that I made the mistake of doing, unintentionally, was I didn't put little rocks back here. So we're going to add a few rocks to the front. I mean, really, if I wanted to, I could go ahead and add them now, but it's not that important. These guys shouldn't be running over rocky terrain anyways. Okay, I think we're about good there. All right, let's, where are me rocks at? Here we go. Not crazy, just a few, maybe 3, 4. Something for variety. Just press them right into the material, they'll hold just fine. I'll put 3 on this side and 1 over there. Okay, something a little bit for variety. Okay, we'll let that dry. Next. All right, let's do something a little different. Let's put this crap in the hard to reach places first. That's what we'll do until I change my mind. Oh, this one has a little bit more room to operate in between the horses, so let's get this a little more. I just kind of discovered this stuff for use on the basing on a whim. They had it at Michael's. It was like $14, $13 or something like that. It was even $11, something like that. About 10 years ago they had it. Tried it and I was really happy with it. Beats the hell out of mixing your own sand with white glue and such. A lot easier to deal with. And then I must have been the only one buying it there because Michael stopped carrying it. So now it's something else I got to buy through Amazon. Which is all right. Sometimes you get something from Amazon faster than before you order it. They'll flat out lie to you too. They'll say this will be arriving on Thursday. And they'll lie, it'll arrive a day early. I heard a lot of commentary this holiday season with UPS and losing their tracking codes. I guess UPS was doing, not UPS, Post USPS doing their stellar job of delivering things to the wrong people. I've got no problem with Amazon delivery. They're really good. But sometimes when you order these things, you don't get to pick how it comes. Sometimes it'll come from Amazon and gets handed off to the postal service, or comes through UPS. I don't know if Amazon and UPS work together, but UPS was always my favorite one. They would leave things at home while you were at work, and you got home and you saw it, instead of leaving this little note on you saying, "Hey, we tried to deliver this at 2:30 in the afternoon, and you weren't there." Well, no shit. I was at work paying taxes so I could pay your salary. I'm not going to be at home at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I never had a problem with UPS. They'd always leave things on the doorstep there. And Amazon's kind of the same thing, except they deliver it even earlier than they say they're going to. So, no gripes there. Okay. Let's do the old push method in here. Let's grab some. It's like this brush method so much, looks like I'm going to be using it for all the stuff on this stand. Feel free to experiment. Stuff's got little resin beads in there, and they're not really of a round style. They work really well. They give it a nice texture. But then you can go and dry brush and, of course, put our happy little grass on. An hour and 12 minutes. Just got to run this until we're done with this, and we'll call it a day. In the middle of doing probably seems like a month's worth of laundry. We're only gone like a week and a half, but how long were we gone? 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, 31st. 1, 2, 3. Is it the 4th today? Anyway, 7 or 8 days. Yeah, but it's 3 people, so yeah, we'll want to start the week at a deficit. We got a lot of things that I like to call hang-upables. You can wash them, but you got to hang dry them. I'd probably say 80% of what we have. So you kind of have to plan ahead. You don't want to run out of clothes and then. Although my work clothes and my not for work clothes really don't overlap, so it's not really an issue. I hear we're going to have another cool week, though. Highs in the high 60s, dropping into the low 40s, high 30s. So should be good weather as far as I'm concerned. That'll be filming at the man cave with no air conditioning running, so you won't have that annoying whir. Which honestly, if you're there, it's not that loud. It just it comes out in film like, we're inside of a turbine. All right, let's get a little bit more of this stuff that we're going to push into there. There we go. Get in there where you need to go. And I like to put a little bit on the base of the figure so that it's not like this oval that has no detail on it. If I can. If not, it's no big deal. Okay. That's the two basings right now. This one and this one. And let's not forget to put little rocks on there. We're going to be different. We're only going to use 3 rocks on this one. The baby rock, and the mama rock, and the daddy rock, Okay. I'm going to put this one there. All right. I think that should work. Okay. So this is what we got so far. These 2 stands. We'll let this stuff dry. I know we won't be able to continue tomorrow because tomorrow's gaming day. Maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday or some day this week. We'll see what we do the next stage here of painting this up and finishing up these stands. We should be able to do that in one day. Bring these guys up to the same stage here. Put the grass, a couple little tufts on there, and these guys will be ready to slam into somebody. So that'll be the heavy hitting knights. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The 8th and the 9th stand of the army that is complete so far. And of course, this isn't going to be straight 12 stands. There's going to be more than just that by the time I'm done with these guys, because we still got to do the bows. And I don't do the bows unless I'm doing war wagons, and we're going to do the bows and the war wagons. So it's going to be like 16, 17 stands for this 12 stand army. We're just not going to be able to use them all at the same time. But I'm not going to do every option, but I'm going to do most options. So have some variety for these guys and be able to fight their opponents and so forth. Because when they're going to fight the Turks and stuff like that, we've got to have to dumb them down a little bit so that they don't beat the crap out of the Turks every single time they face them. So, which was not the case. Okay, well, there you have it. This is the basing part 2 of the Deep Knights here for the Hungarian DBA army. So, and don't forget to like and subscribe if you guys haven't already done that. And we'll have some more stuff for you. Stay peeled. Keep your eyes peeled for tomorrow night. About this time, we'll be starting off with a live feed of something DBA related, no doubt. So, okay, folks. Until next time. See ya.